Also breaking this afternoon, Northwest Ohio is mourning the death of a local businessman and philanthropist. Walt Churchill, yes, the stores, has died at the age of 97. Tim Miller takes a look at his life and legacy.
Walt Churchill Jr. was born in 1929, and before he took the reins of his family's grocery business, he was a military man. He had a 30-year career in the U.S. Marine Corps that the company calls decorated and illustrious. The Churchill family opened its first grocery store in Toledo in 1917. Walt Jr. helped his family run the business, but when his father, Walt Churchill Sr., passed away in 1998, Walt Jr. assumed control. His goal, according to the company, was to maintain the vision of his father and grandfather and keep Churchill's at the forefront of the Toledo grocery business. Walt Jr. purchased the Briarfield Drive location in Maumee in 2005, and while the Perrysburg location had become a Bassett's Market, he repurchased it in 2009. He enjoyed the cheers as he cut the ribbon at this 2009 grand reopening in Perrysburg. At the time, he said they're back in Perrysburg for good. Walt Churchill Jr. ran through a ribbon in May of 2015. He and his wife Lois donated money to build the new track at Perrysburg High School. He said his own passion for running inspired the donation. He ran the Boston Marathon 22 years in a row and established the Churchill's Half Marathon in Toledo.
Money is always involved. Yeah. So we're supporting the track, and we're going to help them enhance the facility. They've got money to do the basic work, and we're just doing some extra money to help make it so that it's a top area track.
Thank you so much for giving us this track. It's like a very big thing to be able to run on such a nice track, so we're very grateful.
The day before Veterans Day in 2016, Walt Churchill honored his and his father's military service by celebrating the U.S. Marine Corps' 241st birthday. His father, Walt Sr., was a two-star general in the Marines who was affectionately called the General. Walt Jr. celebrated with cake and a sword.
My dad's sword was for officers. This sword is for a little closer hand-to-hand combat because it's got protection here. The officers don't have anything around. Theirs a little fancier, see? It's sharp enough to cut cake anyhow.
The local grocery scene would change forever in 2017 when the Andersons got out of the retail business and closed their popular stores in Maumee and Toledo, plus two in Columbus. We asked Walt Churchill for his thoughts. He called it a shame, but said it wasn't the end of the world for shoppers, making a poignant comparison.
A member of the family dies, you may be sad about it, but don't be surprised if somebody dies. And when a business is migrating from what they've been to where they are and where they're going, it's rather exciting.
Walt Churchill's Market celebrated its 100th birthday in 2017. And in 2018, Walt Jr. brought back a tradition, the Big Cheese Wheel. It weighs a ton and is made with 20,000 gallons of milk from 900 cows in Wisconsin. Customers always flock in before the holidays to buy a 1-pound hunk of it.
We do it because we want to add a little spirit to the season and maintain the tradition of the big cheese in Toledo, Ohio. Started by Titke's, followed up by us and Andersons and us back again.
They also have the cheese wheel at the Maumee Market. In 2018, Ohio Secretary of State John Husted honored Walt Jr. and Churchill's by featuring them in the November edition of the Ohio Business Profile during Veteran-Owned Business Month, recognizing Churchill's for being in business for more than 100 years and supporting local farmers and families.
I guess if you win an award like this, it probably comes as a surprise because we just try to do a good job of taking care of the customers, be a good member of the community, and so really something like this is recognized is nice to have.
To make sure his family legacy would continue into future generations, Walt Jr. restructured the business in 2019 to make Walt Churchill's Market a 100% employee-owned company. We were there in March of 2022 when Walt Jr. turned 93.
Happy birthday to you! Woo!
Employees and customers celebrated at both Perrysburg and Maumee locations, and Mr. Churchill cut his own cake. He shared advice for a successful grocery business.
It's always been a fun business. It's always changing. It's a people business, And you have to, if you're going to prosper in it, you have to like food. The sale is not complete until the meal is enjoyed.
Walt Churchill Jr. also helped the community by doing food collections as the holidays approached. He welcomed the Seagate Food Bank to the Maumee and Perrysburg stores for their Stuff the Truck event. Their goal was to provide at least 500 families in Northwest Ohio with emergency Thanksgiving food baskets. The dedication to his country, family, shoppers, and community makes Walt Churchill an icon in life and in death. Tim Miller, WTOL 11.